On November 26th, the crypto circles were rocked by a major earthquake. Bitcoin's price had fallen from $59,345 to $53,549 on that day, its lowest level since early October, with a loss of more than $5,000. During that day, the market sentiment quickly turned into panic. Afterward, most people attributed the decline to the emergence of the most powerful variant virus in history, Omicron, which raised concerns about the efficacy of the existing new crown vaccine and indirectly led to investor confidence in investing. 5 days later, according to the price of Bitcoin on December 1st, it has recovered. It has reached a position above 56,500 in the short term. Analysts believe that this is a strong sign of a bullish trend. Various indicators have also confirmed this. An example would be the overall trend, the trend of the upper shadow line and the lower shadow line, and so on. Analysts believe it is too arbitrary to judge the rise at the moment, and it should be waited for 59,000 to stand firmly before it can be determined to be an upward trend. The possibility of a callback remains at the moment. No matter what the argument, the return of market confidence is undeniable. Since November 30th, the market sentiment index has reached 40, which is much higher than before. The market seems to be doing well. Since then, has Bitcoin's callback ended? Is it still possible for Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by the end of the year? Let's have a quick analysis of these two questions. Based on the previous video, the market must experience a fundamental reversal and improvement. Besides standing above $60,000, there is also another condition, which is that there should be a piece of huge positive news. Analyzing the recent news, it is clear that the biggest recent news comes from the submission of applications for ETH futures. Following this news, ETH's growth rate once again approached its previous high on November 30th. Will ETH initiate the second increase? Obviously not. In terms of actual on-chain transfer fees, BTC is still the winner despite ETH's strong performance. Last week, the Bitcoin network transferred $95,142 for every dollar charged, while Ethereum transferred $139. Furthermore, the volume of transactions between these two is very different. Therefore, we are still waiting for the great news of Bitcoin to appear, or completely stand up to $60,000. Currently, some people want to know, does this have to wait until the year of the monkey? Don't worry, let me share a piece of information with you. Throughout the entire life cycle of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin has transferred over $60 trillion in total. If we calculate the total transfer volume annually, Bitcoin is expected to settle nearly 45 trillion US dollars by 2021. Therefore, this year is the most active year on the Bitcoin chain. The funds are already in place, and anything can happen. Then we analyze the supply and the total Bitcoin supply held by entities with 1 to 10 BTC at a new all-time high of 1,649,369 BTC. The supply is relatively sufficient, and there is also a basis for an upward trend. Another indicator deserves special attention. 87.25% of all Bitcoins on the market are obtained for less than $57,700. As a result, most users actually make a small profit. The next thing that influences their decision making is the news, and the most direct is the market. The figure below illustrates that when the short-term holders' profit and loss ratio reaches 1, it reaches the short-term currency price support level. In other words, the short-term holders' cost position. We are facing the selling of some short-term holders. As short-term holders gradually decrease, long-term holders will gradually take over the buying position. Thus, with the current trend of a slight downturn, there is a high likelihood of a second callback. However, everyone is enthusiastic about contracts and there is still a high level of open interest. There is still an increase in 1 to 10K addresses. It shows that the big players in the market are still confident. Even if there is a callback, the magnitude will not be very great. Next, we will examine some other indicators. A support area defined by Bitcoin's 100-day moving average and cloud chart indicator shows that Bitcoin prices have seen strong support points during the recent downturn. The same technical phenomenon was also evident in September when Bitcoin prices hit record highs. Based on open positions of options expiring at the end of the year, investors believe that the bottom price of Bitcoin is around $48,000, and the short-term price limit is around $64,000. Based on this, it appears that the sellers of the contracts view $48,000, $50,000 as a baseline price. Likewise, the call option price range of $60,000 to $64,000 indicates the short-term price ceiling expected by sellers of these contracts. Let's combine other market reports. We are about to witness the birth of the largest asset management company for Bitcoin ETFs. Plan, a Twitter influencer, also opened a vote. Topic: do you think this halving cycle will reach $69,000 by the end of the year? As can be seen from the voting results, almost 80% of users believe this halving will definitely exceed $69,000. We can see that both market confidence and investor confidence are very sufficient. What is lacking at the moment is an opportunity for skyrocketing. There was also a joke that Bloomberg correctly predicted the bottom. Some media also provide metaphors for bargaining. There are also bloggers who are adept at analyzing waves who have given their prediction. Following the three waves, they believe the road to rise will soon begin, and the current range is in a late callback period. The bottoming callback may happen again. When the callback is made, it oscillates again, and it is almost stable. The majority of analysts still recommend investors take advantage of the excellent opportunities to buy bottoms now. Bottoming out is one of the ways they explain the importance of bottom hunting. To do a detailed analysis of the risk score from the data on November 30th, the total risk score and its components have not changed. More growth is possible in this market. Plan also explained that this is the first time his model has made a mistake, but that $100,000 will happen again and that it will become an inevitable event. He is willing to give it one more month. Do not doubt that holding Bitcoin all the time is the most effective strategy in the long run. Regarding the impact of the epidemic virus, despite the emergence of new virus variants, some analysts believe the stock market has fallen. However, this does not mean that BTC is no longer a store of value or that its basic value proposition has been undermined. So, have you taken any action?